Hello, everyone. How are you today? I am, as always, excited and honored to be here with you. I have Instagram and Facebook. Happy, happy, happy to be with all of you today. I missed you guys last week. We were out of power and water over here, so that meant no Wi Fi, and that meant my inability to come to you live. But this week, I'm going to share with you another story of hope from my private coaching and clinic practice. And I can't wait to dig into all the details with you. Quick overview of the case: 38-year-old female trying to conceive for 2 years. She had 3 miscarriages during that time and started working with me. Well, I'll give you all the other details. Started working with me, and then about within within a year of working with me, was pregnant and carried that one to term. Healthy baby boy was born. Anyway, we'll get into all of it because I'll go through emails and everything with you guys. But for those of you that are new to me, welcome. I am Aimee Raupp of AimeeRaupp.com. I am a women's health and fertility expert. I have been a practitioner of traditional Chinese medicine for almost 20 years. I'm the author of 3 books. Most notably for all of my fertility girls is this book right here called Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. It's a bestseller on Amazon and continues to reach women all over the world. These are my other 2 babies. I wrote Chill Out and Get Healthy in 2010, and I more recently wrote Body Belief, which is how to heal autoimmune conditions. And you'll see I did a lot of the body belief work in this case with this client. So a lot of my fertility girls kind of get everything thrown at them, but these 2 are really the most important books. And depending on the case, we go deeper into one of the 2 programs in that book, but they really build upon each other and they overlap. And so let's get into the case. So here are all my notes. So I'm legitimately reading. So the baby's name is Felix. I write the baby's name in a heart note. What is this called? Post-it. And it goes in my Stories of Hope folder. And so every year around this time, we just focus on stories of hope, and I gather the stories that have come through over the last year. And keep in mind, too, that I work with women all over the world, between my e-course and I have a couple other groups that I run. And so there's a lot of those women that get pregnant, but they don't privately coach with me, which is amazing. They are what's self-starters. They take all the information, they do it, they figure it out, and they don't need the extra support from me, and they get pregnant. But the stories of hope are from girls that are actually coaching with me as well. And that's why I have all this paperwork and this new patient paperwork. But so I counted up, we had about, I think it's 18 cases in my Story of Hope folder. It's just under a year. So, that averages to a little more than 2 pregnancies a month, which is amazing. Oh, Kathy, I miss you. I know, it's crazy. Kathy, who said, I just want to hear your voice. She's a client of mine in the New York City clinic. And I was just realizing, I think it's almost 6 months that I haven't been in the clinic. Is that right? March, April, May, June, July. So it's 5 months. It'll be 6. It's insane. I am figuring out a September date to come in, just so you know, and you will be the first to know, and you can get on that calendar, okay? If you feel comfortable coming in. That's the biggest thing. So COVID has done some interesting things to my clinic practice, but I still get to coach and work with women all over the world virtually, which I had been doing for years. So I was at such an advantage that I had already had this part of the business up and running and been working virtually for so long. So anyway, let's get into the case, but I miss you too, Kath, so much. And I got to see some of my Facebook people over here. Love you guys. Okay, so I'm going to read from, we're going to call her, what are we going to call her? Sharon. We'll call her Sharon. So 38, she came to me. So in 2014, she had a miscarriage and then 2 chemical pregnancies. And then in 2016, she had a healthy child that she carried to term. I'll get into it, but basically after she had the 3 miscarriages, 2 chemicals, and a later term miscarriage, like an 8-week miscarriage, she went to, this woman lives over in Asia. So she went to a miscarriage clinic in London, a recurrent miscarriage clinic in London, and they did the complete clotting factor panels on her, which I would have had her done do as well if she hadn't already. And they did come up and find that she had the protein S deficiency, which could be a major culprit in the miscarriages. She also has the MTHFR mutation. She had 2 copies of the MTHFR mutation. So those 2 things combined could just be the problem that the cause of the miscarriages. And so when they found that out, she was put on Lovenox and baby aspirin upon a positive pregnancy test because she was getting pregnant, no problem. And that worked. She carried a baby boy to term in 2016. So, we were talking, and she feels like she was getting pregnant a lot. She knows immediately when she's pregnant, tender breast, no PMS symptoms, so she's got pretty easy periods. So when we first talked, she had just had a recent miscarriage at 8 weeks. And that's what compelled her to call me, because she had the chemicals in 2017. So she starts trying again a year later. After her son turns a year, she starts trying again. In 2017, she has 2 chemical pregnancies. So like she said, she knows immediately when she's pregnant. She doesn't test until day 33. Her cycle, so 5 days after her period is missed, she tests. And then she usually starts bleeding that day. So those are the 2 chemicals. Then she gets pregnant again in 2018. And at 8 weeks, there's no heartbeat, right? So a different kind of losses. Losses suck no matter how they are come about. But, the 8 weeks, she was a little more hopeful, right? Because she was doing the Lovenox and the baby aspirin this time like she had done for her son that she carried to term. So what else is going on, right? So she's compelled she does a 5-pack of coaching with me. Right after we talk, so she had this loss, and one of her coworkers, a friend of hers, actually had a loss at the same time, but a stillborn at 40 weeks. Just horrible. So she was just really traumatized by the whole thing. Like, was kind of like, is this ever going to happen for me? Like, women lose babies all the way at the end of a pregnancy. How am I ever going to do this? So, as I always do, I went deep into her health history to learn all about her health, because your fertility is an extension of your health, and your health is mental, and it's emotional, and it's physical, and it's nutritional, right, guys? So we talk about her health history. She had a history of chronic fatigue syndrome that she had worked through back in the early 2000s. She has a history of being very, very, very stressed at work. She's a high-powered job. She also has a hard time of making time for herself. So, but she had some really solid beliefs in place. Like, in the beginning, this is our first coaching session. She says, I know I can carry a pregnancy to term, because she had the confidence for what she went through with her son. I know I can carry a healthy child. My body is baby friendly. But then there was also this little bit of like, but am I a failure? Is this actually ever going to work for me? Is this ever going to happen? We got into other health issues. She has sinus, allergy issues, takes a long time to recover from getting the sickness. So she's got some immune system stuff. Sorry, my phone keeps dimming on its own. I don't know what's going on with my phone today. She eats a lot of sugar. She tends to be constipated. She can have rectal bleeding. She goes to the bathroom every 2 to 3 days. No bueno. That is no bueno. You need to poop every day, guys. And then she tells me about her diet. Decent diet. Turmeric in her eggs. She has avocado. She lives in Asia, so Sichuan sesame beef, lots of brown rice, almond milk, greens, spinach, plain coffee. She likes the chickpea pasta, chicken, tomato, spinach. But she does admit, I love gluten, I love dairy, I love grains. She sleeps 7 to 7.5 hours, but she doesn't sleep well. She wakes up a lot through the night. Her exercise routine has really taken a nosedive since she had her child. She wants to do more yoga. She used to do more yoga. She said, I have so much joy, but I also have a lot of anxiety and dread. So I'm going to read to you directly from the emails. My initial follow-up email to her, if my computer abides. I'm having some technical challenges, I would say, today. my initial follow-up to her was, here we go. This was back in July of 2018. Hi there, is that right? Yeah, July 19th, 2018. Hi there, it was so great speaking with you yesterday. I want to remind you to start sending me your food diary. Also, for our next call, I sent her what I call my body belief questionnaire. So I checked in with her on her beliefs around her body. And then I gave her some tools because a lot of it was emotional stuff. When I have a negative emotion that I don't want to perpetuate, ask myself in that moment, what must I believe to have this emotion? How does it serve me? What does it allow me to see about who I am? And what would I have to believe in order to be living the life I want, especially as it pertains to these situations? And that's where I kept it. So I just did some food shifts and some mindset shifts, okay? And then we also put her on. She was already taking a good amount of my supplements because she had been following me for a while. She read Yes, You Can Get Pregnant. So she was already on the fish oil, cod liver oil. She was already on the liver. She was doing the spirulina, probiotics. And so then when I talked to her again, why is this 2 out of 3? Let me just see. Here. So we went over her food diary. We noticed some things, like her husband makes sourdough and crumpets, so she eats a lot of that. Her husband likes to cook. She's going too long between meals. She added in the bone broth daily. She loved that. She was adding in apple cider vinegar. She loved that. She told me that the 4 p.m. snack was the biggest revelation in her life, that she feels so much better because her blood sugar isn't dipping anymore. So she was just going, like she was eating a breakfast within the hour of waking, and she would eat lunch, and then she would go from like noon until 8 p.m. without food, which a lot of us do, and it's not good for our blood sugar and not good for our hormones. So I added in this 4 p.m. snack. We talked about dairy and gluten again, and she noticed that the dairy was definitely exacerbating her sinus issues, so she was cutting that out more and more. She came up with some beliefs. What I'm doing now isn't just about my fertility. This is about my future and my health. I want to be strong and happy as possible no matter what, if I have this baby or not. I want to stay in a state of appreciation. And then we realized that in becoming a mom and a wife and all these things, she lost a part of who she was. She said, I lost a part of my identity. So that was what we focused on for that call, was what makes her her, what gets her back into her alignment, what gets her back into her identity, her feeling like herself, I truly believe that these children come through as a manifestation of our truth and our alignment. And so that was something I was working on with her. Also, we got her back to doing some yoga. She was doing some couples yoga with her husband. So we were implementing things, right? The supplement was there. The diet was getting better. We're working on the beliefs. We talked about letting herself feel vulnerable again. And she realized that joy for her came through writing. She used to be a writer, and she doesn't write anymore. So we got her back to writing. And it was beautiful. There was an email exchange where, and of course, she had the 5-pack, so she gets access to the e-course. So she was digging into the e-course, and she was sending me her food diary like a very good student. And there was something she said about writing. I just went through the emails, but my computer's being really slow. Okay. So food diary. Okay, anyway, we'll get into it. So we continued on that trajectory. So she's actively still trying at this point, right? But I'm just we're cleaning up the diet, we're working on the supplements, and she's working on these beliefs. And so by the 3rd call, she had a shorter menstrual cycle, and she was having a lot of anxiety and dreaming and pressure around trying to conceive. She fell a bit off the wagon food-wise. And, she's starting with the eggs in the morning. We talked a lot about food. She told me that now she's realizing that in her belief system, she thinks about, I try to conceive, I get pregnant, I miscarry. That's how it works for her. I try to conceive, I get pregnant, and I miscarry. This is her belief. This is how her body works. This is what she's seeing. This is what the proof in the pudding is for her, right? And so We spent a lot of time unpacking that belief system. And she said, this is what I want to do. I want to give myself the summer to just work on me. I want to take trying to conceive off the plate, off the table, and I just want to get back to my joy. I want to write. I want to do yoga. I want to focus on my diet. And she said, because overall I'm becoming more confident. I feel like I'm more like myself. I'm a lot less fearful. But she had that I'm not doing enough anxiety. And sometimes, I'm going to be honest, sometimes when I work with girls, I can trigger that because I throw a lot of things at you. And, you know, she felt that anxiety of like, I need to do the diet. I need to do the supplements. I need to work on the beliefs. I need to do the yoga, right? I need to do all the things. I need to sleep enough. And that is something I'm very conscious of as well. I try not to overwhelm my clients, but there is a lot of, you know, I don't want to say work. I don't think that's the right word, but there are a lot of shifts that we can make to best support ourselves. And sometimes I just throw it all and see what sticks. So she felt a little overwhelmed and she said, let's do it this way. Let's do it my way. I want to just take the summer. So this is mid-July. I want to focus on me. I want to focus on my joy. I want to get back in alignment with me. I want to take good care of myself. And, you know, because she really felt like I'm not doing enough. And now I'm saying I want to be a mom, but I'm not doing all the things that you're asking me to do. And so she felt like she was failing herself, failing me, failing this child. And I, of course, didn't want her to feel that way. So we worked it out, though. We have a lot of beliefs we worked out in here. I told her to focus on the ways in which she's serving herself. And she said, I'm in communities. She joined the Facebook groups. But she's also feeling sorry for herself. The yoga she's enjoying. She feels like she's too ambitious, so she's often feeling dissatisfied in herself, like work-wise, health-wise, mom-wise, wife-wise, right? So all these things pulling at her. From a Chinese medicine perspective, though, that is a misalignment, and it robs your body of, we would say, like your spleen energy, which then doesn't allow things to be able to be transformed in your body. So you can't take in your nutrition properly. That's part of her constipation issue too. She was just really stuck and hard on herself. And so a lot of this was easing on herself and you know, coming into alignment and taking the pressure off of her spleen, which we also say in Chinese medicine, the spleen is the organ that has the energy to hold. So when the pregnancies aren't being held, pregnancies are coming out when they're not supposed to, the spleen is involved somehow. And so a lot of the work we were doing was on her mindset because I felt at the root of this, her spleen was involved. And so the diet really helps tonify the spleen, but the mindset really helps as well. So I had to get her to shift that piece where she was constantly dissatisfied with herself, constantly hard on herself. And so she said to me, I do see service in the losses, though. I do see that I can support other women when I share about my losses. But, you know, so she wanted to get back to ease and confidence and joy. So that was July 18th. And then we didn't talk again for a month because, like I said, she just kind of wanted the time to get back to her life, right? So she had a 29-day menstrual cycle. They didn't try that month. She felt really good about that. She also got a promotion at work. She was ready to quit her job and she got promoted. They had taken a vacation and there was an earthquake. I mean, she did not have a stress-free month by any means, but she was very relieved that she didn't try because she just wanted to work on herself, like she said. I had also done the Nourish Your Fertility retreat that month, you know, in July of last year, and she did that. She said it really helped her shift her intention. She became much more conscious of like, if I'm going to sign up for this, having this child, I'm going to sign up for coming back into alignment with myself. I'm going to do these things for me to help bring this child through. But no matter what, I'm going to benefit from it. So what matters most, health, well-being, relationships, connection. How would you like to feel? Flow, ease, confidence, joy. Joy is automatic. She wants more ease. She feels uneasy around this idea of being pregnant again, but not as terrible as she used to feel. So she's shifting. I'm not being perfect. I'm being bad. That was one of her stories that she was telling herself. So a lot of, again, the work I do is I come in on the nutrition. I come in on the, you know, the supplements, but we do a lot of this mindset and we reframe a lot of these beliefs because the beliefs, as if you read Body Belief, the beliefs really do dictate the behavior dictates the health. And so those beliefs are really important to shift. And I wanted her to just get that piece about, like, it's this self-attacking self, which on another level, her body is also attacking the embryo and not allowing it to thrive. And so there's this attack, there's an intensity in her body. And so what I was trying to do was bring ease and calm into that body. Um, she wants more acceptance of the losses. So this is something big that came up, the grief around the losses. She didn't fully accept it yet. And so we worked through that. And am I going to be in the same place again? Am I going to just have another miscarriage? And so she said, I had confidence and comfort in the last pregnancy. And so she was devastated and blindsided by that loss, the 8-week loss. It was a blow to her confidence. So she has doubt in her body, shaken that it could happen again, perfectionism. And her food, she got really triggered. She was like, I'm really triggered about, am I being good or am I being bad? So that was August 18 and August 18, 2018. And so then we went on to have, she had some stuff, work events, etc., etc. Her father got sick. She had to travel to see him. So I hadn't heard from her. This is January 11th. She messages me, 2019. And then she signs up for my Reboot and Rewire program, which is basically my body belief eating plan. It's a 30-day mind body reset. So she does that. And we're about to set up our next call. And let's see, I want to just, and we're back and forth on emails. And then February 8th, I get this email from her where she's like, sorry, I've fallen off a bit. So this is February 8th, 2019. It's been a while since our last call, and I wanted to let you know that I am pregnant. I got a positive digital test that indicated 3 weeks post-conception, which means I'm about 5 to 6 weeks at the moment. So her last period was December 30th, remember? And then she went into the Reboot and Rewire program. So she did 4 weeks of coaching with me in a group and did the 30-day mind-body reset diet plan. She was kind of already following the diet, but it was just more that belief stuff and really an investment in herself. I was very proud of her that she did that. So she says, I'm still early days, but my symptoms are strong. And while I'm noticing a bit of anxiety come and go, overall, I feel confident and hopeful. I honestly wasn't expecting anything to come of this cycle as I've been so busy with work and travel. But the Reboot and Rewire program came exactly at the right time. I focused on the feelings work, which has always been the biggest part for me, and was planning on starting the elimination diet after my travel schedule slowed down. Though I guess I should postpone that. I'm currently, and so she goes on, thank you for all your amazing support and guidance and for giving me the hope, faith, and confidence in myself to get to this point. I will also post this news to the R&R group as I know some of the women are struggling with similar issues and my experience can help them. Sending love. And so then and then I checked in on her again. She was taking the Lovenox and the baby aspirin and feeling good. We did... let's see, we did one more call during her pregnancy. And then, I got this email, heartbeat. There was a heartbeat, 6 weeks, 2 days. That was February 13th. And then, let's see. I checked in on her. May 23rd, so lovely to hear from you. Thrilled to share. I'm 20 weeks along in a super healthy pregnancy. Just did the big structural scan this week, all looking great. Baby is strong, measuring well. We even got a glimpse of his face, which looks so much like his big brother's. It's another boy. Let's see. Meanwhile, a big thank you for all your help and support. Our coaching sessions combined with the Body Belief program really shifted my mindset, energy, and outlook. I don't think it's a coincidence that I got pregnant while starting your New Year's program. And I'd still like to try the full elimination diet when I'm not eating for 2 with a smiley face. Hope you're well and thriving. Thank you again for checking on me. I truly believe I wouldn't be here without you. Lots of love, Lara. Sharon. Lots of love, Sharon. So there you have it. And then let's see. I always love these emails. Let me just go through it. So she checked in again, 27 weeks. Baby's feeling great. She was having some congestion. She wanted to know some things she could do. She was having some anemia. And then on late September 2019, gonna make me cry. Quick update to share that my miracle baby arrived safely on Tuesday. He is sweet, strong, and healthy, just like his big brother. And my family could not be more thrilled. Working with you was a turning point, and I feel so lucky, grateful, and blessed to be holding him in my arms. Thank you again for all your help and support on our journey. And there you have it. And there's a beautiful picture of a little beautiful. I could actually post this. It's such a beautiful picture. Forward this to you to Beth. So let's see. Does anyone have any questions, or can anyone relate to any of this? Let me look at Facebook. I think you guys are all just taking it in, but it's a beautiful, beautiful story of hope. And let me see. It's hard to keep centered trying to make peace with it not happening while keeping hope alive. Sonia, I hear you. It is hard to keep centered. And I think the biggest thing, though, is that we're not trying to be perfect about it, right? That was what I was trying to teach Sharon to undo the perfectionism, right? She had it down pretty much with the diet and the lifestyle, and she had to get back into like the reason why. Was she doing it for the pregnancy? Was she going to do it for herself? And I think that's a huge distinction. Like, are you taking all those supplements just to get pregnant, and you're like pissed off that you have to take all these supplements because nobody else has to take all these supplements to get pregnant, and this is bullshit, I'm so sick of taking all these supplements? Or are you saying, this is an investment in me, I'm taking care of me so I can be the best version of me? And from that place the birth happens, from that place the conception comes through, the alignment, right? And that was so much of what her and I did. It was so beautiful. I mean, my job was fairly easy in that case. It was like getting her back to what brings her joy, just giving her accountability when it comes to the diet and the supplements, reminding her who she was, her power. Oh, you guys are so sweet. Love this story. Thank you for sharing. It gives me hope. Was she taking baby aspirin pre-pregnancy? Well, so I have my girls, like a case like this, every month she took the baby aspirin only in the luteal phase. So once she ovulated, once she could be pregnant, she took the baby aspirin. If she wasn't pregnant and got her period, you'd stop it, and then you would take it again in the luteal phase after you've ovulated. So in this case, yes, once she got the positive, she was on the baby aspirin. Then she contacted her doctor who did her previous pregnancies with the Lovenox, and he put her on the Lovenox soon after that. And yeah, it made all the, I mean, I don't know that it made all the difference though, because she had she had that one miscarriage before she met me, and she was on all the things and she miscarried. So I do think the difference was the diet, the accountability, like her getting back to her taking care of herself on every level, mentally, physically, emotionally, nutritionally. That alignment with self is what then allowed this baby to come through. How can I sign up, please? Great story. You guys are cute. Yeah, if you guys want to work with me, I am available again for coaching sessions. I'm only doing 5-packs. You guys can find out more on my website, aimeeraupp.com. Go under the coaching page, and you can also coach with my associate, Michelle. Her and I go over cases every week, twice a week actually, because she's so busy with coaching clients as well. So we're servicing a lot of people all over the world. And I am available, but only for 5-packs. And if you want to do less than that, you can coach with Michelle. And then I do oversee your case through Michelle, but you work with her only. Yeah, so you can check out how to work with me on my website, aimeeraupp.com. You can also read my books. If you're the self-starter type, just get the books and follow the program. I always feel like I have a worse story than everyone else. So I found myself jealous that she already had one kid. I need to learn that sad stories are not a contest. I know. It's hard, though. I want you to be easy on yourself, though, too. It's not a contest. It often feels like a contest, and it often does feel like, oh, well, she's already got one. You know, why does she need another? I need one. But there's plenty to go around. That's what I'll say to you. There's a big enough pie. There's plenty to go around, and that, to me, too, shows that there is still some anger and resentment in you that needs to be processed. And there's grief and sadness. You deserve to process that, because you don't need to be carrying it. And I do think it's stifling. And I do think it impacts our health and our hormones and all these things. And it creates that hostility in the body. So I want you to work on the forgiveness and the grief, okay? What was the name of the program she did for the new year? Missed the name. Oh, it's called our Reboot and Rewire program. We will do one again at probably the same time in January. We were meant to do one right when COVID hit, and we didn't. We shifted it, and we did my Yes program instead because I felt people needed more emotional support and it was going to be hard to do an elimination diet when none of the stores were open. So we will do one again come January. So keep an eye out. You can DM us for the information or to get on a wait list. Similar to her taking the baby aspirin starting during luteal phase, do you think one could start dexamethasone during luteal phase while trying to naturally have immune issues? Yeah, I don't think if you have a doctor that will prescribe and will manage the case, absolutely. If you know it can help, absolutely. Or low dose naltrexone too. I'm not a doctor. I just talk about what I see clinically, but yeah, I would work with a doctor on that, but absolutely. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go because I have a coaching call in 10 minutes with one of my fertility coaching clients. And yeah, I love you guys. And look forward to another story of hope again next week. I got a whole folder of them, and we're just gonna go through them and inspire all of you. I love you. Bye, guys. Bye.